Hey everyone, so it is the dead of night. I'm about to go to sleep. I'm in my sleep gear and I saw something on YouTube that I just had to make a video about. So, long story short, Will Smith has accepted a challenge from another YouTuber, Yes Theory, to go heli bungee diving over the Grand Canyon. This means a lot to me for many reasons, and to explain that, there's a bit of a story behind it. So, a couple years ago, I really got into success advice and stuff like that. So, of course, I started watching all the advice I could on YouTube. There's plenty of interviews and talk from successful people, some of which was curated, some of it was raw, that was on YouTube. So I just binge watched tons of it, and I still do. And one of the few videos that I still watch constantly are these couple videos that were interviews of Will Smith. Some guy out there compiled the few interviews that were captured by footage of Will Smith, and he stitched them all together. They're basically from a few different talk shows, some of which no longer exist. And they weren't just any stuff that he said, they were stuff he said about success. And the whole compilation was only like a few minutes, but what he said really stuck with me. And I think Will Smith, he gets pretty deep and philosophical, even when he's talking about simple stuff. And so his message just stuck with me. The passion, the sheer amount of willpower and discipline and energy and focus he has, it just bleeds through, whether it's a movie he has or when he's talking about something in his real life or giving advice in interviews. So since then I've been constantly looking for more stuff from him, and it's been very hard to find. Like, you'll go like a year, sometimes half a year, before you find something from him. And sometimes it's worth the wait. But then about a couple months ago, out of the blue, he decides to get on the social media bandwagon finally. And there's pros and cons of social media, but this guy just came out and just destroyed it. I mean, if I wanted anything from Will Smith in terms of social media, it's exactly the style he's given me. I mean, he's killing it on YouTube. The editing, the videos, you gotta check him out. He's already at almost 1 million subscribers, and I mean, it's incredible. The filmography, the occasional life advice he'll throw in about success and so forth. His Instagram is on point. The photos, the constant Instagram stories he posts, the tips he gives on self-discipline, self-love. I mean, it got even deeper than I ever thought it would. Like I had no idea that this guy knew so much about personal development. I mean, this is a topic that I study deeply from a scientific standpoint, as well as just a general standpoint from studying successful people. And for this guy who's been successful for decades to come out of nowhere and like talk about specific things like self-love and self-discipline and focus and happiness and all these different things, and tying them together, it really just confirms a lot of the stuff I've been studying. So, and it also, really just shocked me so much that, Will was into all this stuff. So, we share a common first name too, so that's another area. So I can go on and on about Will Smith and how I'm going to be, my own person. I'm going to be the first and only Will Chow one day. But then in comes Yes Theory. So to describe the context of who is and what is Yes Theory, we have to go back. So I've been watching YouTube videos almost since it began. I've been kind of the child that has been born and grown up in this era where these two different worlds happened, where there's television and filmography and photos and the traditional way of doing things, and then social media came along, and I was like right in the middle of that, and I experienced everything from you know, dial up all the way to high speed internet as it is now. And I started YouTube right at this, inflection point. I was a YouTube fan for many years. I remember back in the day when if you were the most subscribed YouTuber on YouTube, you had 100,000 subscribers. Think about that. And so it's grown and grown. And I've been such a huge fan of YouTube. I've seen many YouTubers just rise to the top. Some of them have declined and disappeared since then, but some of them have stayed. And I've probably watched over tens of thousands of YouTube videos. I mean, I can name hundreds of YouTube channels that I've been huge fans of over the years. I mean, it's just blown up as a platform. I used to be able to keep track of it, even though I had like hundreds of channels I was keeping on top of, from CasMG to Smosh to Roman Atwood to the OG YouTubers, and Timothy DeLaGhetto, Jenna Marble, so on and so forth. And now it's just blown up. There's thousands of channels with millions of subscribers now. So I bring this up because in comes yes theory, and you know every year you think like it's saturated, like no one else can come into this field, and these guys came out of nowhere yet again to be proven wrong, just like Jose Zuniga has and tons of others. And in a couple years they've hit 1 million subscribers. These guys have just been kind of keeping tabs on them, and they have this clear style of just, they're a group of people, it's not just one guy. And like their name says, they have this like failure experiment. There's this like TED talk done about this guy who did this failure experiment, and it's very similar, where they just go up and like every video every day that they upload, they just go ask strangers to do something crazy. And this isn't a new concept. Like Simple Pickup did this, and a bunch of others did this. But Tim Ferriss had a blog post that profiled a bunch of kids who did this, and eventually got to a point where they were able to play with Obama. They were able to play basketball with Obama. But these guys, they're doing it daily, and they take it up a notch a bit. Sometimes it's a bit too much, and it may get a little rude, but in general I think it's inspiring. It really expanded my mind, and they've been doing crazy stuff like this. Like they went out and asked a bunch of people in a rich neighborhood if they would like to have donuts and just chat, and many of these rich people didn't respond, but some of them did. And they had donuts with these rich people. And they have all these other random videos where they would ask strangers if they want to go skydiving with them and so forth. So, for a while I was just like, okay, this is cool. But then, today, when Will Smith responded to their challenge, asking Will Smith if he would go heli bungee jumping with them, and Will Smith accepted and made a whole video accepting this, I think it really just struck something with me. And I think what it is it's really expanded my mind of the possibilities out there. This is thanks to Yes Theory. This is thanks to Will Smith. If they can get this iconic man to come out and actually say yes and accept this challenge, I mean, that really just opens up all these possibilities. What am I, and what are you, limiting yourself with? What if you're limiting your possibilities and what you could potentially do because you don't believe it's possible, so you don't even try, or you limit your possibilities? It really has got me thinking. And of course, I definitely stretched the envelope as well, but how much further can I go? Obviously not in a way that's rude or disrespectful, but how can I do it in a way that's win-win for everyone, and stretch that envelope? And I've been doing it a decent amount, but not enough. Like I recently went to the Travel and Adventure Show Expo, and I had this crazy idea. There's influencers who travel the world for a living there and living their dreams. Some of them younger than me, and they were speaking there. And I was like, I have this crazy idea. I'm gonna have my camera, and I'm gonna ask to interview them. And you know what? I'm going to go even crazier. Some of these people conducting this show, they have these really expensive video cameras that cost tens of thousands of dollars. I'm going to ask them if they could film me interviewing this person rather than just using my own camera. And the worst they could say is no. And guess what? They said yes. Well, the first time they said yes. The next time I asked with another speaker, they were like, no, you can't. But the point is, like, you never know if you don't ask. And so what do you want to accomplish? Maybe you want to, meet all these successful people. Maybe you want to be respected by them. Maybe you want to just, live your dream life. Have the freedom you want, the financial freedom, the lifestyle freedom. Or maybe you just want to have, the absolute best job in the world, and you do whatever it takes to get there. Or you want to be the best in the world at something. Whatever it is, how are you limiting yourself? Because these guys, they were having. I saw the reaction video where the Yes Theory found out that Will Smith said yes, and they were just having a blast. They were literally like rolling on the floor, so happy, and it really makes me wonder, and maybe it'll make you wonder too. What are you not doing and holding yourself back with to not have that experience? When's the last time I've had an experience like that where I'm rolling on the floor just so excited because of something happening? It's been a while. So I think this video has gone on long enough. I can talk about this for a while, but the point is, it's really expanded my mind, and I'm going to share a personal thing with you guys, but hopefully it'll get you thinking even further. I think, although I have been pushing the boundaries and trying to get into situations where I fail, I think I've been holding back. I think I've been scared. I think I've been, really, just have a part of me has given up on that. And what this video and what's happened here has really unearthed more possibilities. And I think, part of that, the reason that part of me has given up and part of me never has, is that the part of me that's given up is maybe due to the fact that, at one point in my life I had all this hope, and then I went out there and I thought I can apply this theory of just like asking, to girls, and then I got rejected and rejected and rejected. And I asked all these girls out, or I just tried to talk to them and compliment them and approach them, and I would just wasn't getting favorable or positive reactions. And so after a while, after I don't know 50, 100 over the years, I was just like, this isn't maybe this doesn't work. And maybe that is true. Maybe it's not about just asking people please, 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 and trying to take value, but finding a way to do it that's win-win for the both of us, to have that value there, and then be okay with failure and rejection, and not being validated by others, and giving value, and not being needy, and and just trying to bring as much fun and energy to both parties involved, but most importantly to yourself, in a healthy way. I don't know, but the point is, I think it's opened up my mind towards what this new era of social media is bringing. This whole idea of challenges and celebrities interacting with social media influencers that are now as big as celebrities, some of which are self-made from social media. It's a new thing, it's an inflection point, but it's not a new thing. I mean, almost like 10 years ago, I remember one of the first big things that I was really excited about with this, type of celebrity engagement was when Miley Cyrus started her YouTube channel, Miley and Mandy, and they did this whole dance crew challenge. At first they were just random vlogs, and then they did a whole dance challenge where they faced off with another YouTube channel, and that one just blew up like crazy. But I think with Will Smith doing this, we've hit another huge inflection point where more than ever before, like, we're seeing some meshing between, you know, ordinary people who are now becoming the new celebrities and influencers and people of influence, and old-time celebrities who are also kind of mushing and becoming social media celebrities, and then they're all kind of coming together. And what I smell from all this is possibilities. I don't know where it could lead, but I do think that, you know, the possibilities that we have are much beyond what we think. And so I just challenge you to start thinking a bit, like, how can you leverage this a bit? Because I'm going to be thinking about this. I'm excited about this. Like, what can I do? At the very least, I think the one thing I should be doing different every day from now on, and this is, you know, again, thanks to Will Smith and Yes Theory for expanding my mind, is asking something in a way that's win-win. And so I'm not like discouraged or dependent or self-validated off of this, but just doing it for the sake of expanding my potential and living my life as I wanted to. Asking someone or something or some organization to do something every single day from now on. And they may say no, they may not be interested, but you never know where it leads. I mean, Yes Theory, every day they're doing a video where they're asking strangers to do something, and they'll get people who say no, but, you know, they'll get people who say yes. And look at them now. They're going to be heli bungee jumping over the Grand Canyon with Will Smith. I don't know what to say. I mean, incredible. And I'm definitely not an adventurous type in the sense that, you know, I'm not really a skydiver or anything. So, you know, maybe my style will be different. I don't know what it is, but exciting stuff. Thanks for watching.